Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd just like to start and go through a couple things that are on our Moodle site just to sort of give you a quick rundown. It'll just save a lot of time. So if you look at the very top of our, is everybody in? Is anybody not in? We good? Okay. So if you look at the very top, I ask you to label all your files a very specific way. It lets me know exactly who you are and when you and what the assignment is for and everything. If you sort of scroll down and look at our first week, session 1, you'll see at the bottom under there's assignments. All the assignments have an assignment number. They tend to be it's a 2-digit number. The first number is the session number. The second is the assignment number. So you can see there's 3 assignments in session number 1, and so it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. So it's pretty simple. Those are the numbers that you would actually use in the file naming. So when you turn in an assignment, you'll name it with your last name underscore first name underscore assignment number underscore. If there's multiple images, you would do multiple image numbers, and so you can pretty much figure it out here. The first couple of assignments that we turn in are Lightroom catalogs, which we will put together. We'll export next week together as a class. So we'll get this stuff going, and hopefully it won't be an issue for anybody. The second thing down there is class announcements. This is a one-way form. It's how I get in touch with you. I also do emails directly to people. I also do e-blast to the class, but class announcements is usually where I put most stuff. The next thing down is the excuse me, do you know how to form? This is a form that everybody can post into. All of you can, I can post into. Everybody in this room is subscribed to this form. If you have a question about anything, do not email me, put it in the form, because there's a good chance if you don't know something or how to do something, there's a lot of people who don't as well. So if you just put your question in there, anybody who reads this who has the answer to that question, I want you to go ahead and answer it. Do not wait for me to do that. Makes sense? This is also a great place to do anything that you want to. If you want to say something to the whole class, it's a great place to vent your anger. You can also sell your dog on this site. You can actually, anyway, it's the place for us to just meet. So anyway, that's where to do it. The next thing, shoot. It does. You get an email saying, and it'll say that, yes, you do. It's the same thing with the class announcements. You get an email for it. The other thing that you'll get, I don't know if you guys, are you guys pretty much familiar? Is anybody not really familiar with Moodle? You will also get email notifications whenever I do grading. Every time a grade is posted for you, you'll get an email notification saying that that's happened. So, yeah, anyway, the next thing down, and I want everybody to do this just because it's frustrating to do it. This is actually the text for this class. It's an online book, so you don't have to buy it. However, you have to go through the library to get it. So if you read in the highlighted text underneath that, it can walk you through how to do it. But basically, everybody do this. If you just click on it, we'll probably crash the library site now that we're all going to click on it. But at any rate, if you click on it, it takes you to the library where you actually have to log in, which is weird because this is not letting me log in. Are you guys getting the same thing I'm getting? No, you guys actually all got in, right? You can't what? You may just be there because that's the book. So what happened? Yeah, so you're right on the book, right? Yeah. Okay, if that doesn't work, I don't know why mine's not working in here, but if it doesn't work, you basically have to log into the library, and then if you come right back to this Moodle site and simply click on the link, it will take you straight there. All the chapters are done for you guys the very same way that way. So if there's any issues with that, please let me know. The next thing down here, how many people in this room do lynda.com? How many don't? I would strongly suggest changing that. If you think that looking at YouTube videos is a way to learn, you will have a complete epiphany when you get to lynda.com. It's an extraordinary resource. It's not just limited to photography. It covers. It's insane what it actually covers. It's extremely in-depth thing. However, again, if you simply go direct to lynda.com, you as a student here at Columbia College have free access to lynda.com. So you need to go to Oasis first, log into your Oasis account. As a matter of fact, if everybody does that really quick right now, that would be great. But in on your Oasis account, once you get logged in, you will see on the top of your screen on the right-hand side, there's a thing called Training, a tab called Training. If you click on that, that is where the link is to lynda.com. And because you are logged into Oasis, when you click on lynda.com, it will take you there via the website that is here, and you will have access to all the videos. And it doesn't kick you out right away. You'll be in usually for the day, but if something screws up, just re-log in. That way it's really simple to do. And then once you get logged into lynda.com, then a lot of the video things that I'm asking you guys to watch on lynda.com will just be available to you. It's conceivable that you can get in through trying to do lynda.com, but don't try to. It's an absolute nightmare. It's something that either Columbia hasn't worked out with them or they haven't worked out with Columbia, whatever. The next thing down is the late assignment policy back on our Moodle website. I need everybody to click that open really quick right here because this is an important one. I do not accept late assignments in this class. I don't accept them in any of my classes, so don't worry. I love you guys just as much as I love the rest of my classes. What happens in this class is this. If you turn an assignment in on time, it gets graded. If you do not turn in an assignment on time, you get a 0 for that assignment until you do turn it in. Once you do turn it in, then you will actually get an F for that assignment, but I can promise you this. Fs are graded as a 59 in my grade book. Zeros are zeros. If you have 4 or 5 zeros in this class for assignments, you'll fail the class, and I sadly fail people every semester. I'm not one of those, well, I actually am one of those good guys, but anyway, so the thing is that if you miss an assignment, if you don't get an assignment in, whatever, that doesn't mean that you get a pass on it. You've got to still do the assignment, okay? Or it's not going to work out well for you. Just saying. Are there any questions about this part? Okay. And then again, I just reiterate on the bottom of that how I want the assignments named, but it becomes pretty easy. So don't worry about this. I mean, it's not that difficult. Okay. Next thing down, there is a final project that is going to be due for this class. So even though there's a part of this class that is I've asked you guys about your Photoshop skill set level, which would imply that this is a Photoshop class. This is as much a shooting class and a critique class as it is a Photoshop class. So that is going to play into this. It plays into it actually in a really big way. Your final project is something that matters. So what your final project is, well, if you click on the final project proposal, we might as well go through this stuff really quick. So basically your final project proposal, if you take a look at what this is, it's basically a way for you to demonstrate the skills that you have established or learned in this class, but apply to your own personal work. And I am a huge believer in having this. This is an important part for me, is because even though there's certain exercises that I'm going to give you that tend to be pretty technical in nature, this is still what I really hope that's going to come out of this class, is that you're going to actually be able to take the things that you learn in this class and apply it to your own work. That's really sort of an important one for me. That even goes out to the PJ people in this class. So for the PJ people in this class, how do you really feel about Photoshop and manipulation and all that? Sometimes you need it? Okay. We're going to get to a point in this class we're going to actually have a pretty lengthy conversation about that. I was just curious where you stand right now. Okay. Anyway, so for the final project proposal, I want a written, basically proposal by, I think it's either week 5 or week 8. I don't know. We'll get to it when we get to the assignments. But basically what it is that come the middle of this semester, somewhere between week 5 and week 8, I want you to actually put down on paper, only 2 paragraphs, what it is you think you're going to do for your final proposal. That doesn't mean that it can't change, doesn't mean that it can't move or it can't evolve, all that kind of stuff. But I need you to start thinking about it. I don't want you to start thinking about your final proposal in week 13. The final project requirements right underneath that is, okay, so it is, the written proposal is due in week 5. So this will basically, again, in week 5, the written part is due. In week 8, we'll actually start looking at pictures. And then hopefully things will be, by the time we get to week 14 or whatever the last week in this class is, you'll be good to go. The next thing down is keyboard shortcuts. If you click on keyboard shortcuts, it's just a list of keyboard shortcuts that are in Photoshop. I'm not a real keyboard guy. Now, everybody else who's ever taught this class, they do quizzes on this shit. That's absolutely silly and stupid to me. We'll get to all the silly and stupid things that I think go on, but that'll be, well, it was the first one I bumped into. I could care less whether you know command, keyboard, shortcuts, whatever. What I care about is that you know how to do whatever it is you're trying to do in Photoshop. There are certain keyboards, shortcuts that I use all the time, and so I will throw those things out to you. But like I say, as long as you can do it, I could care less how you do it. But I gave it to you as a reference just so that you have it. The next thing down is a glossary for digital imaging terms. It's relatively complete. There are things that will come up in this class, and if you sort of forget, you don't really understand. We do a bit of color theory in this class. How many people in this room have had any serious color theory? Where? In what department?
It was like the foundation skills, little 5-week courses.
Okay. Oh, in art and design.
Yeah.
Yeah. But was it pigment or light?
It was pigment, the painting.
Yeah. Okay, color theory when it comes to light. A couple of weeks.